There's something about real stories that makes them far more terrifying than anything fiction can offer, because these actually happened. No jump scares, no background music, no actors, just real people, real fear, and moments that changed lives forever. Tonight, we're diving into 3 true scary stories from America. Stories that were reported, investigated, and in some cases, never fully explained. So before we begin, make sure you're alone, because these stories don't just stay in the past. Sometimes, they follow you home. Story 3. When Sarah moved into her new home, she felt like she had finally found peace. It was quiet, affordable, and far away from the chaos of the city. Perfect. At first, everything was normal, until small things started happening. Her belongings would move. Not disappear, just shift slightly. A chair turned a different angle. A book moved from one table to another. She blamed herself. Maybe I just forgot. But then, she started hearing footsteps at night, soft, slow, always outside her bedroom door. She tried to ignore it. Old houses make noise, right? But one night, she opened the door and saw nothing, just darkness. But the footsteps stopped immediately, like something had been waiting, watching. Days later, she found something that changed everything. A small notebook, hidden inside a kitchen drawer. She didn't remember putting it there. Curious, she opened it, and what she read made her blood run cold. It was a journal, but not hers. Every page described her daily life, what she wore, what she ate, who she called, even her thoughts, written in detail, from a perspective inside the house. One entry read, "Today she felt uneasy. She thinks she's being watched." She's right. Sarah dropped the notebook, heart racing. She immediately called the police. They searched the house, and what they found was a hidden crawl space above the ceiling. Inside it, food, water bottles, and more notebooks, dozens of them, all about Sarah. But here's the most disturbing part. The last entry was written that same day, just hours before she found it, meaning whoever was writing it was still there, watching, listening, living above her. They never found the person. No fingerprints. No DNA. Nothing. Sarah moved out immediately. But she kept one page from the journal, one she can't forget. It simply said, "She's leaving soon. I'll miss her." Story 2. Mark and Daniel were best friends. They loved road trips, especially exploring forgotten back roads across America. One summer, they decided to take a route that locals had warned them about, a long, empty stretch of highway deep in the desert. People called it the road that doesn't let you leave. Of course, they laughed it off. Urban legends always sound scarier than they are, right? They started driving just before sunset. At first, everything felt normal, endless road, radio playing softly. But after about an hour, Daniel noticed something strange. "Didn't we pass that sign already?" Mark frowned. "What sign?" "That broken gas station sign, back there." Mark hadn't noticed, but a few minutes later, there it was again. Same sign, same angle, same flickering light. They drove past it. Silence filled the car. Okay, that's weird. Mark tried to stay calm. Probably just looked similar, but then it happened again and again. No matter how long they drove, they kept passing the same place. Same sign, same empty road, same silence. Daniel checked his phone. No signal. GPS frozen. Time? Still showing 8:43 p.m. It hadn't changed in over an hour. That's when panic started to set in. Bro, something's not right. Mark pressed the accelerator. The car sped up, 70, 80, 90 miles per hour. But the road never changed. Then suddenly, headlights appeared in the distance. A car, finally. Relief washed over them. Thank God. It wasn't moving normally. It was gliding. Too smooth. Too quiet. And as it passed them, both of them went completely silent, because inside the car there was no driver, just darkness. Mark slammed the brakes. The car skidded to a stop, both of them breathing heavily. "Did you see that?" Daniel whispered. Mark didn't answer, because in the rearview mirror, the car was still there, right behind them, even though it had already passed. And then the radio turned on by itself, static, then a voice. "You shouldn't be here." The headlights behind them turned off. Pitch black. Mark hit the gas again, driving blindly forward. And suddenly, they were back at the start of the road. Gas station, lights on, people around, everything normal. Time, 8:44 p.m. Just 1 minute had passed. They never spoke about it again. But years later, Daniel admitted something. When that car passed them, for just a second, he thought he saw something in the passenger seat. Something that looked exactly like him, staring back. Story 1. Jessica had always liked working night shifts. It was quiet, peaceful, predictable. She worked as a dispatcher at a small emergency call center in rural America, the kind of place where hours could pass without a single phone ringing. Most nights, it was just her, a cup of coffee, and the hum of fluorescent lights. Until one night, something changed. It was around 2:17 a.m. when the first call came in. Jessica answered like she always did. 911, what's your emergency? Silence. Not unusual. Sometimes people panic. Hello? Can you hear me? Still nothing. Then, faint breathing. Very slow, very deliberate. Jessica leaned closer to the headset. Sir, ma'am, if you can hear me, please respond. Click. The line went dead. She shrugged it off. Probably a prank or accidental dial. But then, it rang again. Same number, same silence, same breathing. Only this time, it sounded closer. Almost like whoever was on the other end wasn't just holding the phone. They were right next to it. Jessica felt a chill run down her spine. Listen, if this is a joke, it's not funny. That's when she heard it. A whisper, barely audible. Help me. Jessica's posture stiffened instantly. Where are you? But the call disconnected again. Now her training kicked in. She quickly traced the call location. And that's when things stopped making sense. Because the call was coming from inside the building. Jessica froze. That wasn't possible. She was alone. At least, she thought she was. Her eyes slowly moved toward the dark hallway behind her. The emergency center had a back storage area, rarely used, barely lit, and now it felt different. Too quiet, too still. The phone rang again. This time, Jessica didn't answer immediately. She just stared at it, heart pounding. Ring, ring, ring. Finally, she picked up. Hello? No breathing this time. Just silence. And then, a soft creaking sound. Not from the phone. From behind her, Jessica turned slowly. The hallway door was open. She was sure she had closed it. Her voice trembled. Is someone there? No answer. Just darkness. Then her headset crackled, and the whisper came back, louder this time. Don't turn around. Jessica dropped the headset instantly and ran for the front exit. Police arrived within minutes. They searched the entire building, and in the storage room, they found signs someone had been living there. Food wrappers, blankets, and a hidden phone. But the person? Gone. They were never found. And Jessica? She never worked another night shift again, because to this day, she swears that whisper didn't sound like it was coming through the phone. It sounded like it was right behind her. These stories may sound unbelievable, but every detail comes from real reported cases, real people, and real fear. And the scariest part? Not everything gets explained. Not every mystery gets solved. And sometimes, the truth is far more disturbing than fiction. So tonight, when you turn off your lights and everything goes quiet, just remember, Some stories don't end when the video does.